What's up, fellow internet dweller? Brickineer here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Space Police 3 Squidman Escape set. It has the number 5969 with 42 pieces, 2 minifigures, and it came out in 2009. It retailed for $6 or $7 in today's money, and if you want it now, you're going to be looking at around $6 used and around $10 sealed. This set is really small. It was the smallest besides the polybag in the first wave of Space Police 3, and the cheapest way to get the Squidman minifigure. But without further ado, let's take a look at the set. First, let's take a look at the build, and it is a little Space Police bike, I would say. It's kind of like if there was motorcycle police officers in space, they would have something like this. And it's at a very weird angle here. So you have the first half of it with the lights, guns, controls, and then it splits here, not necessarily in the middle, kind of like 2/3 of the way in, with a little back section that just drops down a little bit. And this is so that the minifigure can kind of be at an angle like this. I guess you can move it down a little more, but that kind of looks weird. So I think one click down looks the best. Or maybe if you really want to, you can just keep it like that. But I think one click down looks pretty good. For the minifigure, he's just going to be holding on to this classic Lego control steering wheel thing there. And he's kind of just hanging on for dear life. There's nothing really supporting him. And if you take a look at a similar set from a similar time period, this stone chopper from Lego Power Miners, you'll see that this guy is also at an angle, but he's kind of like stuck in there because they thought about it. They had this little stand for him. But for this bike, he's kind of just floating there, and I think that's kind of weird. Maybe they should have had something to hold it up. Maybe not the same piece, but something similar. Maybe that he could, like, bend his knees. Or I guess maybe that looks better. But it's still kind of awkward that he's just hanging on for dear life. Maybe it would have been good to have something. But let's take off this figure to take a look at the rest of the bike. That's kind of what it looks like in the back. It's kind of barren, you know, nothing there. And we get 2 of these bars on the back. Maybe you want to grab onto it. Maybe this is like how you hook the Squidman to it or something like that. And we have the lights in the front, the Space Police lights, with some stickers that of course say police. And then the Space Police 3 logo. Got some more sticker elements on the sides of these big angled pieces. And then we have some guns, I would say. Just some small little laser guns at the front. It's a very small build, only 42 pieces, and that is, and then you subtract the minifigures from that, and it's probably around only 30 pieces. So it's a very small build. $6, you know, it's not that bad. It's polybag worthy material, I would say. So, but yeah, that is the bike. There's nothing really much to say about it. It's very small, very cute. You could amass a couple of these. So if you have like the police station from the second wave of Space Police 3, you could have a couple of these kind of just like lined up and make a cool Space Police force. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, so that is the bike. Now let's take a look at the minifigures. Here is the Space Police officer that you get in this set. He does not have a name, just like the rest of the police officers. He also does not have one of those like air tanks, like a lot of the other police officers have. Usually it would go on the back there, and it looks like this. So he does not include that piece. But he does share a face with, I believe it's an agent's minifigure. I'm not sure the name. I can throw a picture on him of him on the screen there. So he has a similar face. And he has the same torso, leg, and helmet as the rest of the Space Police officers. It's just going to be this, it's not the classic Lego helmet, but it's one of those like biker helmets. And he does have a second face here of a scared face with a microphone and some glasses. And again, the torso and leg printing is going to be the same with every single Space Police officer and in the second wave. The only thing that changes with the second wave is the helmet design. Other than that, they use the same torso and legs with the Space Police logo in the middle there, some pockets, some knee pads, looks like. But that's kind of all for the Space Police officer. He does have a little visor here that can go down. I guess that's supposed to cover his face when he is in space. But yeah, that is the police officer. We also have Squidman here, and he comes in two sets. There's this one and then the Squidman's pit stop set. He has not a unique head mold, but a head mold that is unique to this line. There is a second version of this head mold in the, I believe it's called Smash and Grab Space Police set, but we'll review that later. He's got some big eyes there, the pupils are kind of pointing off to his left, our right. Got some very interesting printing on the top of his head there. His torso kind of looks like a fish or something like that, with kind of gills, I don't really know, and it looks like they go inwards, and there's a big gap in the middle of his torso. He has no leg printing. He also has a big red cape, which does cover up some back printing there. Pretty basic back printing. I also want to point out his face and his mouth there. It's pretty scary with these 3 giant teeth and a big tongue. So he's a pretty scary minifigure. He also comes with a $100 bill, which is pretty nice. So yeah, that is Squidman. Here is how I display the Squidman Escape police bike, kind of right next to the rest of my police vehicles. I mostly have only of the villain vehicles. You'll see I have the limousine, I have these, where is it? This mini one, and then we have some of the larger ones. So I kind of just keep the small police vehicles over here on the side. And until I get some bigger ones, this is going to be where it goes. Kind of just with the rest of the police vehicles. Here are the instructions. I do not have the box, unfortunately. So we're just going to be taking a look at the instructions. Lego Space Police. It doesn't say Space Police 3, but it is the third or the second reboot of the Space Police line that started probably in the 80s. And this is the third version of it. We got always a wanted minifigure. In this case, it is going to be Squidman. Unfortunately, he does not come with this tiled piece that has his police prison something number. I don't know what that works, how that works. We have some bullet holes, and yeah, pretty interesting cover. I would like to point out that in a lot of these instruction manuals, they have this really cool city in the back, and unfortunately, we didn't really get anything that would have been in this city. I can only think of one, which is the Space Police Center, I guess. The jail cells and stuff, there's a couple of them from the second wave of Space Police 2. But it would have been really cool to see a Space City line that kind of went with the Space Police sets, and we could have gotten something like that. Because I know there's a lot of, maybe not this one, but there's a lot of interesting Space Police sets that are like a space truck or a space limousine. So it would have been really cool to have like a space city buildings, you know, besides the police center. But yeah, so that's the front of the cover. And then it's very standard instructions. These are the older ones, so it doesn't tell you like what pieces you need beforehand. So you kind of just have to like pay attention to the instructions. And then at the end here, you're gonna get this, which I guess could be a poster, depending on how you look at it, or an advertisement. We have all of the Space Police aliens, the villains of the line, with Squidman. I believe his name is Cranks. I'm not sure who he is. Snake, my favorite. The Skull Twin. And then I think this guy's name is Slizer. Kind of showing off the heights of each minifigure. And it's kind of cool. It's like a 1 inch tall. And then we have all of these sets. And unfortunately, I do not have all of them. Currently, I have these 3 right here. I do not have this one. I will probably be purchasing it soon. Just, it won't be reviewed like in order. And then I don't have these 2. I might get this one, but I don't think I'm going to be getting this one. I'm not really a big fan of the Space Police cars or vehicles. I'm more into the villain vehicles. I think they're really way cooler than the police vehicles. Maybe this one looks really cool, but this one, not a big fan of. And especially in the second wave, there's a lot more of those villain vehicles that interest me a lot more. There's the back of the instructions there and the win stuff. Overall, I think this set is not bad. There's no flaws necessarily. Like, there's nothing wrong with the set. I think it's just a nice set, and for only like $6, I think it's got some great figures and a fun, massable vehicle if you want to make a space police force. But yeah, so I just think it's a decent set. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in another one. Peace out.